Have you ever met someone who seemed completely fine on the outside, but deep down, they were quietly losing themselves? Maybe they still smile. Maybe they still go to work, reply to messages, laugh at jokes, and tell everyone they're doing okay. But behind closed doors, their mind feels exhausted, their heart feels heavy, and every day starts to feel exactly the same. The scary thing about emotional burnout is that it rarely happens all at once. It happens slowly, silently, until one day you barely recognize yourself anymore. Psychologists often describe burnout as a state of emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion caused by prolonged stress. And sometimes, the people struggling the most become experts at hiding it. So how can you tell if you're emotionally burned out without fully realizing it yet? Here are 7 quiet signs. Number 1, you feel tired, no matter how much you rest. One of the biggest signs of emotional burnout is constant exhaustion. Not just physical tiredness, but a deeper kind of fatigue that sleep doesn't seem to fix. You wake up already drained. Simple tasks feel overwhelming. Even things that used to feel easy now require emotional effort. Psychology researchers explain that chronic stress can keep your nervous system stuck in survival mode for too long, and eventually, your mind and body begin running on empty. It's not laziness, it's emotional overload. Number 2, you stopped feeling excited about things you used to love. Have you noticed that the things which once made you happy don't feel the same anymore? Maybe your favorite hobbies feel meaningless. Maybe music doesn't hit the same. Maybe spending time with people feels more exhausting than enjoyable. This emotional numbness is common in burnout. Your brain becomes so focused on surviving stress that pleasure and motivation start fading into the background. And sometimes the hardest part is not feeling sad. It's feeling nothing at all. Number 3, you become emotionally distant from people. When someone is emotionally overwhelmed, they often begin pulling away from others. Not because they hate people, but because interacting starts to feel draining. You reply slower. You cancel plans more often. You stop explaining how you feel because you're too exhausted to put it into words. Psychologists call this emotional withdrawal. Sometimes, people isolate themselves not because they want to be alone, but because they no longer have the energy to pretend they're okay. Number 4, small problems suddenly feel huge. Another hidden sign of burnout is becoming unusually irritated or overwhelmed by small things. A simple text message feels stressful. A minor inconvenience ruins your mood. Tiny responsibilities feel impossible to manage. Why? Because emotional burnout lowers your ability to handle additional stress. Imagine carrying a backpack full of bricks all day. Even adding one small item eventually feels unbearable. That's what emotional overload does to the mind. Number 5, you constantly feel guilty for resting. This one surprises a lot of people. Even when you're exhausted, you still feel bad for slowing down. You rest, but your brain keeps saying you should be doing more. You're falling behind. You're wasting time. Psychologists often link this to productivity-based self-worth, where people begin measuring their value by how much they accomplish. So instead of resting peacefully, you feel anxious while resting and exhausted while working. You never fully relax. Number 6, you feel disconnected from yourself. Burnout doesn't only make you tired. Sometimes it makes you feel emotionally lost. You stop recognizing your own personality. You don't know what you want anymore. You go through the motions of life, but internally, you feel detached from everything around you. Some people describe it as feeling like they're watching life happen instead of actually living it. This emotional disconnection can happen when stress becomes so constant that your brain starts emotionally shutting down to protect itself. Number 7, you secretly fantasize about escaping everything. One of the quietest signs of burnout is constantly imagining escape. Not necessarily running away forever, but wanting to disappear for a while. You daydream about turning your phone off, moving somewhere quiet, starting over, or simply having nobody expect anything from you. That fantasy isn't weakness. Often, it's your mind trying to tell you that you've been emotionally overwhelmed for far too long. And maybe, more than anything, you just want peace. The truth is, emotional burnout doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like smiling while feeling empty. Sometimes it looks like functioning normally while internally struggling to keep going. And many people don't realize how exhausted they are until their mind and body force them to stop. So if these signs felt familiar, maybe this is your reminder that constantly surviving is not the same thing as truly living. Rest is not failure, slowing down is not weakness, and asking for help does not make you a burden. Healing begins the moment you stop pretending you're fine when you're not. If this video resonated with you, let us know which sign hit the hardest in the comments below. And remember, taking care of yourself is not selfish. Sometimes it's necessary for survival. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.